We're doing Yorkshire pudding and beef wraps with an onion gravy dip and sauerkraut relish.
We're doing Yorkshire pudding wrapped up with beef. We've got a layer of gravy lying underneath. We're cooking up a storm in downtown Tulsa, 'cause all those chicken wings is giving us an ulcer. So if you're hungry, please don't fret. Get yourselves a piece of our beef bayonet. Ooh!
Yorkshire pud needs a batter, which starts with plain flour and eggs.
Normally I would use 2 eggs in here, but we're doubling it up to 4 because we want a more elasticated pud, because it's going to end up a wrap.
Add your milk.
Now this batter's going to stand, so I'm not worried too much about lumps at this stage, because we want the flour just to relax and absorb the fluid, and we will give it another whisk before we start to get puddinged up. And we're going to cook these in beef dripping. We want a proper, authentic Sunday roast taste.
And of course, you can't have beef and Yorkshire puddings without a gravy.
Ours is an onion gravy, which starts with melted butter and onions.
A bit of salt, just to draw all that lovely natural moisture out of the onions.
Because we want these brown and caramelised, so it's the opposite to sweat till translucent.
Stir in a cup of water and a couple of bay leaves. Then cover and saute for 5 to 10 minutes.
For a bit of extra oomph, what could be more British than a good dollop of Marmite?
So I want to get some more heat in this and get some colour on the onions now.
Slowly add flour to the onion mix and combine. Then it's time for the stock.
Some Worcestershire sauce. Another little nod to England, isn't it? Along with the yeast extract, some Worcestershire sauce.
Add some thyme and turn down the heat.
Lovely.
Back to the batter.
Now, one of the golden rules is that a pudding mix must go into searingly hot fat. Now, we want a Sunday lunch kind of beefy flavour, so we're using good old-fashioned beef dripping. Lard will do at home. Really, you want to put this into a piping hot oven. Yowza.
Now to the beef, and we're using sirloin rested at room temperature. And we're going to apply a rub of ground black pepper, mustard and salt.
It's funny, you know, some people say don't put salt in beef before you cook it because it makes it tough. But actually on a steak, I love that salty crust.
Oh, yeah,
And
so
if the
do I.
meat's good, the proof's going to be in the eating, isn't it? So look, you see the Yorkshire pudding mix, it's thickened up a little bit. My mum always used to say, you want it about the kind of viscosity of single cream. I think that's just about right, isn't it?
Perfect, man.
And there's no lumps.
Once it's there, pour it into the piping hot pan of fat taken from the oven.
See the edge there? It's beginning to sizzle and cook already. And that's what you want.
Back into the oven, and when the edges start to brown, it's time to flip your pud.
Now, it will go collapso. That's what we want. And that's going to crisp up a treat.
About another 3 minutes in the oven should do it.
Oh! Pop that out. Pop it down. Put it to bed. Now, we'll leave it to go cool, and it's going to drop a little bit, which is what we want, and become quite pliable. But then just before serving with that beef, we'll just heat up a little bit on the griddle. I'll get on and make more puddings. Do you know, I think this is hot enough to go straight away.
Brilliant.
Right, you do the steak?
Yep.
I'm Captain Pudding.
Perfect. Right.
Time to sear the steak. And of course, we don't really know how the good folk of Tulsa like their beef.
So I guess they're getting it medium rare whether they like it or not.
Yes.
Turn the steak a couple of times to get it nicely charred, and then it will need to go into the oven for about 4 minutes before resting for around 8.
Meanwhile, I'm crisping the puddings.
There we go.
And don't forget to put those lovely resting juices from the meat into your gravy.
We reckon some sauerkraut and pickles will give our wraps a zingy twist to delight the local palate.
The Americans do love a relish, don't they?
We certainly do.
Now, when you carve the meat, mind you don't cut it too thick. Remember, it's got to roll in the wrap.
Just there.
Heaven. Now, will it wrap? Oh, yes, it will.
So our pop-up kitchen is prepped.
I think we're in business.
I think we are in business.
The kitchen is open. Time to take on the taste buds of Tulsa.
Oh, here they come.
Hi, can I have a Yorkshire pudding wrap, please?
Yes. Can I get your name?
Lauren.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You can't get one of the, I don't even know what they're called, burritos.
All right.
Flippin' Nora.
There's no shortage of demand, but I wonder what the locals make of the Yorkshire pudding.
I never heard of it until you guys came along.
We're trying to determine what it's made from. Look it up.
It's really good.
It would be worth buying. How's that?
Everything was tender, and it was real nice. I'll go back and do it again.
Gravy just augments the flavor perfectly. I love sauerkraut. There's nothing about this that isn't just spectacular.